Hello, it's Perpetually Red, and I'm doing my October TBR today. So, it's October 3rd, and I'm just now making my TBR video, and I hope to upload it right away. So, I don't think there will be any editing on this video, but I hope to keep it kind of fast-paced and, fun. So, this month I decided to use the Inktober prompts to come up with a TBR. Now, there's 31 prompts. I won't be reading 31 books this year. I will be reading 31 books this year. I won't be reading 31 books this month because some of the books that I chose I've already read, so I'm not going to reread those this month. Anyway, Inktober is a month-long challenge for artists to draw in ink and post it on social media. So I'll show you my first book. The first prompt is Gargoyle, and I chose The Last Gargoyle by Paul Durham. Hopefully I can get it without too much glare. So almost all of these are library books. I had a fun September 30th running around finding all these books, and I didn't find all of them, but I found the majority of them. So that was exciting in itself. I went to 3 different libraries. I was having a good day. So since it's October 3rd, I've already inked my bookmark, because that's what I chose to do for this month. I've already inked my little bookmark. And on the back, I've got a little quote from the book, and I've dropped it. So that's what I'm doing for each of these books. So if it's the Inktober challenge, and I'm gonna read this book for my TBR challenge to myself, I have to make things more complicated for me to enjoy them. So okay, so this book is about this grotesque, is what he calls himself, and he is made of stone, but he can be a wisp form, and he takes out evil spirits that prey upon people in the dark. So yeah, and it's middle grade, so that's what I know about that one. Let's see, where am I gonna put these? Okay, and the next one is Scurry. I'll just set this to the side so I can read it. And this is a children's book that I missed growing up. I somehow didn't read this one. My partner read it, and when they were a child, so they enjoyed it. And yeah, so Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. It's about rats that have been experimented on, and they have higher intelligence. And this little mother rat, I've started reading this one yesterday. It's so good. It's really about a mother trying to save her child, and so it's really good even for an adult. Yeah. The third prompt was Bat, and I haven't read Dracula, so I think this is going to be the month. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Dracula is. Hopefully, maybe. It's a vampire tale, not the original vampire tale. There were before Dracula, but I think this one is the one that really raised vampires to popularity. So, by Bram Stoker. This one is for the prompt Scallop, which I really just wanted to read this one, and the artwork on this has so many little scallops in the clouds and such. I will say my drawing, because I've already sketched out a lot of these bookmarks, my sketching does not show the beauty of this cover, and truthfully, I'm not sure what this is about, other than she has a bow on the front, so she must be some sort of archer. She's the daughter of the moon goddess, and I believe she's trying to save her mother from being exiled to the moon. So yeah, and it's by Sulin Tan. All right, this is a book. Let's see, make sure I got these in order. Flame, yes. This is a book I've already read and super enjoyed. I've read this like 3 times. Yeah. And I will say I like this better than the Ghibli film. So high praise for sure, because I also really like the Ghibli film. This is Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Wynne Jones. And it's about a girl who gets cursed by a witch, and she goes on this adventure to get her curse fixed. And it's a lot of fun. There's this moving castle and a wizard that steals the hearts of women. So the next one I chose completely on the cover, and I have read it. It's The Seep by Shayna Porter or Chana Porter. I don't know. I don't remember. And this one is for bouquet, which has this lovely bouquet of arms and flowers. So I had a fun time drawing this, and I'll have a great time inking it in a few days. So this one is about an alien invasion that I think it's an odd one. It's an odd book. It's very weird. But it's an alien invasion, and it seeps into people. So I'll leave that there. The next prompt is Trip, and I chose Kiki's Delivery Service because I was on a Ghibli film, the books that inspired the Ghibli films, kick, and I hadn't read this one. And I'm pretty sure I've seen the movie, but I'm not positive, so I may have to either revisit or watch it. But this is by Iko Kadono, sorry, Iko Kadono. Kiki's Delivery Service. She is a witch that turns 13, and she must take a journey to find her her village, that she will be the one witch for the village. And she takes along her companion, Gigi the black cat. Yep, so that's that one. It's a fun one. All right, the next one is Match, and I had some trouble with this one, like coming up with a book for that, because I was thinking of a lit match or matching, like a matching set. But the one that I finally figured out what I was gonna do was Haikyuu, and it's a volleyball match. This is a sports manga, shonen, a sports shonen manga. So it's about these guys that are on a volleyball team in high school. So lots of fun, overdramatic moments in this. I have watched the anime and super enjoyed it. So I'm excited to read the first manga. And it's got, let's see, there's a cool page. Well, here's a little showing of the artwork. It's pretty nice. Okay, the next one is Nest. And this is a book that I did not find a copy of in my library, but I can get it on my library's Libby app. So I just printed out a little thing because I knew I wasn't going to edit this video. But it's The Bird's Nest by Shirley Jackson. And I was intrigued to read this one and to draw it. So yeah, this is about a woman, and she finds out she has like a multiple personality disorder thing. I'm not sure how it's handled in the book. I haven't read it. I know nothing about it. I saw the cover, saw that it had Nest in the title, and picked it. So I'll have to come back with my thoughts after I've read it. Okay. So the next word was crabby. We're on number 10, crabby. And the first thought I had was a book I read like 15 years ago or something. And it was The Drawing of the Three with the lobstrosities. Now they're lobsters, esque, but also lobsters are crab-esque, so I'm counting it. Yeah, so this is it's Stephen King. It's an adventure, kind of a Western adventure kind of thing with fantasy and sci-fi elements. Following Roland and from the Gunslinger. This is it's a whole series, The Dark Tower. This is number 2. yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about that one. All right, the next one was Eagle, and actually I think this was the very first book that I thought of, and not really because it had eagles in it, but because of the little meme about eagles in The Lord of the Rings. So anyway, for Eagle, they also helped, the Eagles also helped out Bilbo in The Hobbit. Now I have read this one in high school, which we won't talk about how many years ago that was. So in high school, and it's J.R.R. Tolkien, and there's giant eagles in this, so I'm gonna draw an eagle bookmark. There we go, The Hobbit. We all know it. We all know of it. Okay. Let's see. The next one is Forget, and this is a book I've already read like a couple months ago, and it's about, The City of Orange by David Yoon. This is about a man who has amnesia, and he's learning about this new world, this new area he's found himself in, the City of Orange. So yeah, since he has amnesia, and this cover is neat, I'm going to try to recreate the cover, maybe, possibly, on my bookmark. But yeah, since he has amnesia, I chose this book for the prompt Forget. Next one, the word is kind, and I have never known a more kind shonen protagonist than Tanjiro. This is Demon Slayer. This is volume 2 by, I didn't practice this one, Koyo Haru Gotoge. Okay, hope so. Hope I didn't butcher it too bad, but yeah, Demon Slayer. I have read all 23 of this series of manga, and I absolutely loved it. I was sobbing by the end of it. It was amazing. I can't sing its praises enough, but yeah, Tanjiro is so kind, and even though he's, battling, and he always treats people with respect, and it's just amazing. So I can't sing this one's praises enough. But I am going to put it down and move to the next one because I'm just trying to get this, I'm excited about it. I want a video of it, but I wanted to get it up and ready. So the next prompt is Empty, and I chose another book that I've already read, but super loved, The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. This book is about a woman who moves in with her uncle, who runs a museum of oddities, and when he has to leave for a week or so, or some amount of time, she finds a hole in the upstairs part of the museum, and when she looks in the hole, it's bigger on the inside, basically, and that leads to a lot of shenanigans. So it's hollow places, empty. Okay. Oh, we have a kitty growling. I think I'm getting a package. Let's see, the next book I have is for the prompt Armadillo, and we have, this is just a book that's kind of holding its place, but Tank Girl, this is World War Tank Girl, but I'm gonna read Tank Girl Armadillo, but this is still Tank Girl, so yeah. And I'm pretty sure Tank Girl Armadillo has nothing to do with armadillos, but I was struggling to find a book with armadillo in it, so there we go. I'm not gonna go into that right now. Maybe after I've read it, and maybe not. Tank Girl is pretty volatile. Okay, so the next prompt is Foul, and I'm gonna draw a Baba Yaga hut. I'm super excited because it's got these little chicken legs. And the book is Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I believe these two people are brother and sister and have inherited their Yaga hut, a Baba Yaga hut. So that sounds like some fun times. Yeah, I haven't got a hold of a copy of this, but I am first in line at one of my libraries that I'm a member of. So anytime now. The next prompt is Salty, and another book that I read in August, The Root of Ice and Salt. So in this one, it's by Jose Luis Zarate. I hope so. This is another one that I was excited to try to recreate, like, the feel of the cover. I've already sketched it and I don't think I made it, but you know, it was an attempt. It was definitely an attempt. So this one is a prequel to Dracula, which I've read this one, haven't read the original, you know, Dracula. But yeah, this is a prequel to Dracula, and it was, yeah, anyway, yeah, it was salty. It was very salty. The next word is scrape. This one's a little bit of a stretch, but I had the idea of Coraline by Neil Gaiman, the scraping of the door that she finds that leads to the other world, or like the scraping of nails from one of the characters. So yeah, I had a fun time drawing it, and as you can, I don't know if you can see the shine, you can see all those nails. I'm sure there's some scraping involved in this book, which I have read the graphic novel version of Coraline, but I have yet to read this one, so I'll be interested to see how it differs from both the graphic novel and the movie, which the movie and the graphic novel are very different. And the protagonist has a lot more power in the graphic novel than she does in the movie. So yeah, which I like that part. Let's see, the next word is ponytail, and the first pony I thought of was Roach from The Witcher, which I've only watched the Netflix season 1 of, but super enjoyed that one. And yeah, so no spoilers, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the second one. I like to start a series and just kind of leave it there. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna draw a horse. I'm not a good artist, let me just say that, but I'm gonna attempt it and have Geralt's little ponytail and Roach's ponytail. So that's for prompt ponytail number 19. Oh, and it's by Andrzej. I don't know how to say that. Sapkowski sounds right to me, but I don't know about the first name. I apologize for that. I should have looked it up. All right, well, moving on to Bluff. I watched the anime of this one. Spy Family, Spy X Family. Not sure how you would say it, and this is another book I couldn't find a copy of right now, but I can read it digitally. And it's the story and art by Tatsuya Endo. Okay, so the bluffing in this is that the father, Papa, is a spy, and Mama is an assassin, and the little girl is a telepath, and none of the others know that. She, of course, knows everything because she's a telepath, but she's also like a 4-year-old little child. So it's a very cute, like, found family kind of vibe, because they're all just brought together for this one mission that the spy has, and it's just an adorable anime. I've read the first manga. This is number 2, but I just wanted to get Anya on here. And since my sketching is not very good, I've tried to sketch it as if Anya is the one drawing the bookmark. So Okay, we're getting down to it. Now we have number 21, Bad Dog. This is another one. I just wanted to draw the cover because it seemed like it was going to be easy, but also it's pretty spooky. It's another one I've read. This Thing Between Us by Gus Marino. And it has this little dog on it. I'm not going to say any more about that dog, but it has a pretty cool cover. And it's about a man who loses his partner, and well, it's just his grief, and it's also a horror. So, and there's like an Alexa type stand-in in this book that has some creepiness to it. Okay, next is Heist. Another book that I read and super enjoyed, Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. And one may say that this is a revenge plot more so than a heist, but I will say that there's a cast of quirky characters in this that definitely feel heist worthy, like they're breaking into somewhere. It's a heist to me. Yeah, this definitely has like fantasy Ocean's 11 sort of vibe to it, and I've really enjoyed it. But this is about a princess who is going to save her sister from her husband, basically. So yeah, that's that. And she meets a bunch of characters on the way. So the next prompt is Booger, and ew. But I found Captain Underpants. Let's see. Captain Underpants and the Big Bad Battle of the Bionic Booger Boy, Part 1, The Night of the Nasty Nostril Nuggets. I remember super enjoying this one when the first few came out. I haven't read this one. I don't love a booger talk or gross humor, but it's Captain Underpants, and he has a place in my heart. So it's about Dave Pilkey, and yeah, there you go. He's a superhero. He wears underwear. The next prompt is Fairy, and I'm gonna read Pinocchio, and hope that there's actually like a blue fairy and such in this. I don't actually know. It looks like it. No, blue hair. I don't know. We'll see. But Pinocchio, a little wooden puppet that gets life. So, and has adventures. By Carlo. Ooh, I don't even know who this is by. Let's see, Carlo Collodi. Let's see, it was published. When was this made? It's a Puffins classic. First published in Italy, 1882. Yeah, so this is a classic that I really haven't heard much about other than like the Disney film. And I know they're remaking it, and I saw a trailer for it, and that's what made me think, oh, Blue Fairy, because the Blue Fairy in that was pretty cool in the trailer. Let's see. Okay, so the next one is Tempting. And for that, I chose, let me get these in order, The Lord of the Ring. So for each of these prompts, I've also chose a quote from the book. And so the quote that I chose is from The Return of the King. But, you know, this is all actually supposed to be one book by J.R.R. Tolkien. So, yeah. But, so the Fellowship of the Ring. The Lord of the Rings is the name of the whole thing, and tempting because of the One Ring. It's a very tempting object in that whole thing. So, the next one, Ego, the prompt is Ego, and I'm gonna read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. It's another one I haven't read, and isn't this cover pretty cool? Little comic on the outside. It's not a comic. It's the original, but. Yeah, so Frankenstein has a pretty big ego to think he can just make a creature and, you know, bring it to life and all that. So I thought that was a pretty good thing. And then it's also about, you know, Frankenstein's monster trying to discover who they are and all that, which maybe I'm not super strong on what ego means, but I thought that fit. All right, and the next one is prompt is snack, and I really wanted to draw the little candy, the Candyland in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. So this is about Charlie, who gets a golden ticket to go to a candy factory with, I think, 6 other children, and all the goofy things that happen in there with Willy Wonka. Right, the next prompt is camping. Another book I've already read, Annihilation. Not a whole lot of camping takes place in this, but there is talk of tents and like military tents and such in this. Annihilation takes, and as you said, I've annotated it to death. And Annihilation takes place in a Area X that is a weird zone that they don't really know what's happening in it, and they keep sending people into the zone, and strange things happen, and people rarely make it out alive. So that's that one. The next prompt is Uh-Oh, and it's a book I haven't read yet, but just seemed like the most uh-oh possible. It's The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. So the I think his name is George. Like I said, I haven't read it yet, but George wakes up and he is a giant bug in his bed. And I'm like, how? That's so uh-oh. And he's just like, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to go back to sleep and maybe it'll be better next time I wake up. I'm just like, that's so uh-oh energy. Okay. The next prompt is gear, and I'm going with The House with a Clock in Its Wall. Now, I've seen the movie, and I thought that was a lot of fun. So I'm ready to read, let's see, who wrote this? John Bellers, I guess. It's just odd that it says a John Bellers mystery. I wonder if it's like artist insert or something. Author insert. I don't know. But yeah, the movie was good. I don't know much about the book other than, you know, just seeing the movie. But I do know it's about Lewis that goes to live with his uncle, and there is a clock inside the wall of the house, and there's an evil wizard or warlock or someone who has cursed the house, maybe something like that. Okay, but it's a middle grade. Seems a lot of fun. And the last prompt, number 31 for Inktober 2022, is farm. And I chose something a little different because another movie I've seen, but that I would like to read the book of. Anyway, The Martian by Andy Weir. So, what's his name? Mark? Mark gets left on Mars and has to survive for a year. He has to survive for a long amount of time to survive on Mars. And he does that by farming potatoes. So, that's my farm for the prompt. Yeah. So, that's my Inktober, how I'm wiggling books into Inktober this year. And yeah, so you can check out people's artwork as this challenge goes on by using the hashtag Inktober and hashtag Inktober 2022, and also looking, I guess, at Inktober, probably on Twitter. I don't know about ats. Yeah, so I hope you had a good time charging through all these book prompts with me, and I'm excited to get started reading. Like I said, I've started reading Mrs. Frisbee, and I've also started reading The Last Gargoyle, my first 2. So, yeah. But if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see my artwork as it goes. I'm gonna, every week, I hope that every week this month I'll have a vlog style video where I will kind of show a little bit of the art, the bookmarks as I do them. Yeah, so that should be fun, I think. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!